a great help for those suffering from PTSD or ADD, mental health issues, mental illness, depression, TBI, any number of problems, struggles, ailments, diseases. If you come back from war and you're trying to assimilate into society, and you go from 1 minute seems like you're in a battle, seeing people get killed and narrowly escaping death yourself in extreme situations. And then you go from that to being in the living room of your house with your wife and your 3-year-old daughter or something. And it's difficult to process, to adapt, to adjust. I wanted to share a great, powerful tool with you. And it's stimuli. Because part of the problem, a big part of the problem, the struggle, the challenge you have, is that you had such incredible stimuli that you lived under for so much time that your dip switches, so to speak, like those little electronic switches inside electronics that are thrown in an on or off position, and they're not meant to be used by consumers, so they're kind of permanently set. Those dip switches in your psyche and your senses and your eyesight, your hearing, your feeling, your thinking, your cognitive processing, all of your senses, all of your 5 or 6 senses, they're set in a higher state, a higher position, because that's what was required and that's how you adapted to survive. And so suddenly you come back to a relatively safe environment where there's quiet and the concerns are not being shot at or staying alive, but the concerns are just making breakfast or changing a diaper or what to watch on TV or something like that. And it's really hard to come down. Well, here's the problem. You may never come down, or at least not entirely. Those dip switches were set. So that sounds scary, but I have an answer. And there's a healthy way, rather than coping with alcohol and all types of different drugs. Coping is injecting new healthy stimuli. And so I'll give you an example. It's very, very, very powerful, and it's worked for many, many people. Marathon running. Yes, it takes effort, and maybe your body's broken and you need to learn about your knee joint to fix it, to repair it, to give it the supportive exercise it needs to be rehabilitated. Maybe you need to start taking care of your body. Maybe you need to lose some weight. But you can get on a journey, whether you're going to row a marathon, or outrigger canoe, or cycle. You probably have to cycle for at least 50 miles to get the same effect or probably 75 miles to get the same effect of running 26 miles in a marathon. But many, many people have overcome all kinds of elements to get there. And guess what? Now all of a sudden you have a source of amazing, healthy stimuli. And by practicing this, it not only makes you healthy in so many ways and helps with the healing of whatever conditions you're dealing with, it helps tremendously with the healing of those conditions, but also it gives you a massive tank or a massive supply of stimuli, and that's what you need. And this is natural stimuli. These drugs are manufactured inside your own body, and they are released through strenuous activity. And aerobic conditioning through endurance sports, like long distance running, is the absolute best way to get that. And it will change your life. If you're just willing to get on the journey, and it starts maybe just walking to your mailbox and back, wherever you're at. You might be in condition where you could jog for 3 miles right now today, and you need to do that. Or you might just need to get up and walk around your block, or do some calisthenics. Get an overall fitness. Start with the calisthenics that you were once doing when you were back with your team that you worked with. And start getting yourself back in shape again. And this is a way to get stimuli, because stimulus is one of the legitimate needs that you have to have. And it will help normalize, or help normify, so to speak, the heightened state of alertness, awareness of senses that you turned on when you're in combat, or when you're in the crisis situations, or those challenging situations and extreme stress you're in. It also helps to, if you do it properly and systematically and gradually and smartly, so you don't injure yourself with stretching and proper rest and eating and all that, guess what? It's also helpful for your endocrine system. The endocrine system is amazingly complex. And so you need this stimuli, and you need this aerobic conditioning, this basic fitness, in order to achieve some type of normalcy in your endocrine system, and to maintain that once you get some endocrine system health. Once you get endocrine health, you need to keep it. First, you might need to get it first, achieve it, and accomplish that first. But it starts with walking. Walking is so underrated. Going for walks to sort things out. You know what? I meant to say this in the beginning. I'm going to end with the best. You've got to know your Creator, our Lord. That means He's your Lord and mine. You might not know Him, but hopefully you get to meet Him on peaceful grounds, because He loves you and you want to receive His love and love Him back. You don't want Him to be your judge, because you totally blew off like all these great things. He wants to give you love, joy, and peace, forgiveness, and all these things, and you just like blow it off. I don't need that. No, you want to receive those things and get to know Him in a great relationship. Read the Bible, the New and Old Testament. Start with the book of John if you've never looked at the Bible before. It's kind of like a love letter to us. Read the whole Bible and pray. Seek God. Get a relationship with Him where you receive His forgiveness and you begin to walk with Him daily. And you get to know His peace and joy, because that is literally the first prerequisite to living the way you're intended to live. And then the marathon running would be a great tool to fix most of the rest of those things. Most, because it's not perfect, but you could greatly improve your situation. I hope you get started today.